Why are Christians so often caught up in scandals? Well, as someone who has been caught up in a scandal or two, I'm perfectly confident in my capacity to examine this question and to provide you with a sound and faithful biblical answer, which is simply this. Christians are sinners. That's what we are, just like everybody else. We have sin in our lives. The real question is not why do Christians sin in scandalous and spectacular ways. The real question is, why do we know about it? How come this makes the news? Not long ago, a well-known Christian who was the head of what is certainly the largest Christian university in the world, and maybe the largest university in the world, found himself embroiled in a scandal and is no longer serving in that role. And it became fodder for late-night comedians, fodder for thought pieces all over the internet. Everybody wanted to give their 2 cents worth, despite the fact that the scandal had precious little to do with this university or anything else in this man's public life. Now, I'm not saying that all of our sins should be kept secret. What I am saying is that there's a hunger and thirst for these stories because at the end of the day, they're man bites dog stories. I don't know if you know that expression, but as an editor, you don't want a plethora of dog bites man stories. That's not interesting. That's not going to catch anybody's interest because it happens all the time. But if you have a story about a man biting a dog, that's strange. That's unusual. Now, there's no story to be told about the sexual misbehavior of your garden variety unbeliever. But when you have someone who in the public mind represents the Christian faith, who is profoundly connected to the President of the United States, whose father was the founder of the moral majority, then yeah, that's a news story. Just like my story was a news story, not because of me, but because of my father. The truth of the matter is, we're all sinners. There's scandals in the Bible for believers every time you turn around. We're all familiar with King David, a man after God's own heart, the writer of most of the Psalms, the hero who felled Goliath, the king who not only committed adultery, but had the husband of his adulterous partner killed intentionally to cover it up. We have Noah, who is called righteous time and time again. Noah, who at the end of the flood, as he gets off the ark, he plants a vineyard, he makes his wine, and he gets drunk. We have Peter, the leader of the first century church, not only denying Jesus while Jesus was on trial, but even after that and after the forgiveness that he received, after he preached at Pentecost, he acted like a racist towards Gentile believers. This is the man who brought in the first Gentile. Well, friends, it's what we do. It's because it's what we are. It's not an excuse. It doesn't make it not sinful. It just means it shouldn't surprise us. Now, I've known many of the biggest Christian celebrities of the last 40 years. And I have no secrets, no inside information on anybody's scandal that I'm keeping a secret from anybody else. But I do know this. I do know that every last one of them is a sinner just like me. And so, we shouldn't be surprised.